Live. Oh,
Okay, are we still live?
yeah, we're live, we're live.
Okay, reporting live from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm joking. All right. Okay. I always get jitters every time we do this. Nerd Z, is you ready?
I'm ready.
Del Pesh, is you ready?
Hey, man, gotta stay ready.
Stay ready so you don't gotta get ready.
Stay ready so you don't gotta get ready.
All right,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. In a world where one, I started to sneeze, two, then I had trouble to breathe, three, and it's plain to see that I may have COVID-19, and four, multiple people at 1, 2, 3, 5. Now the world's on quarantine, and ever I believe this all be done. To get vaccinated. I'm joking. This is the event. I'm your host, Jay Hunterville. We got the Nerd Z in the building.
Hey.
We got Del Pesh in the building.
Yo.
It is December. Mariah Carey has entered the chat. Not this chat, but like the world's chat. You know.
Yes.
A bunch of Christmas carols and songs that come. A lot of you guys probably know the ding da down down da down down da down da down da down da down da down 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 jingle bell jingle bell rock. You know, all I'm sitting there is popping right now. It is snowing. They said it's supposed to be freezing rain today in Toronto.
Wow.
Which it is, yo. It's random right now. All my windows right now are kind of shaky.
After this podcast, I'm going to brush off some of that snow because the worst thing is build up snow and you're maybe late for work and you're trying to like all that. It's not fun. It's not fun at all. But how are you guys doing?
Pretty good. I can't even lie. I've been chilling. I've been working on stuff, projects. Definitely doing more photography, going back in that direction again. And working on, I guess you can say, my book. I'm working on my book. And
okay.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Okay. Del Pesh, how about you? How you been?
I don't know. It's good so far. But everything around is like, I don't know. Now, I'm going to advertise something in a second. If you're ever in the Vaughan area, look out for this. That's called Osteria Berto. So they sell wraps. They sell them, or they refer to them as towers. So they'll make one, and if you're like, oh, I think the minimum is 2 towers. So 2 towers is wrap chopped in half. You can do 3 towers.
Okay.
You can have like a garden salad. They sell all types of wraps are fire. So if you're in Europe, or I said Europe, if you're in Vaughan, if you're in Vaughan somewhere, look out for, once again, Oteria Berto.
Oh, is that what we're doing? Are we plugging stuff? Are we plugging things right now?
Plug your thing.
Oh, I don't know where I put it.
Besides Naruto, watch it on all streaming platforms.
Yeah, so yeah, Naruto, Boruto, Naruto Shippuden. If you may have noticed, my face has been looking, and I mean, glorious lately.
Okay.
I've been trying this soap. It's called Juicy Suds.
That sounds a little.
Shut up. Juicy Suds. It's a proper all natural soaps. Okay, homemade soaps, proper soaps. When I tell you, I the one I've used was the Burn Out Bad Mind. Back up, no bad mind.
Wait,
what's it called? Back up, no bad mind. Yes,
that's
what it's called.
That's what it's actually called.
Name. It has liang liang. I'm terrible at promotion because I wasn't prepared. But Liang Liang,
I know Liang Liang. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
not the person, the thing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I forgot. I'll get back to it. But Juicy Suds, they just started this weekend, and in 24 hours they were sold out. That's how you know it's a good thing.
Wow.
So
Okay.
yeah, Juicy Suds. Yes. Go buy your soap.
So bathing soap.
Yes, bathing soap.
Please, for the love of God, bathe below your legs. I know some of you people out there refuse to do that, but with the Juicy Suds, yeah, you have a spectacular shower, because you'll get all that grease.
Scrub your legs. Come on now, scrub it.
How you gonna miss your crotches? How you gonna miss behind the knees? How you miss the bottom of your foot, between the toes? Any folds or flaps?
I don't know how people say they just let the soap run it down like it's like you're
what?
Like you're washing this. So do you do that with your dishes?
Which lets you know you shouldn't even eat at their house because they probably do that with their dishes.
Imagine how itchy the back of their kneecaps are.
That's
so they're cooking the food and they scratch your kneecaps and then put that crevice of dead skin follicles in your food. Like, come on.
That's disrespectful, man. Someone has to die. I mean, I'm not promoting death, but just speaking theoretically, someone has to die.
We got to do better. I'll just say that we got to do better.
Once again, if you don't want to,
but you guys,
not us. No,
wash your legs. Not the ones that don't wash their legs. Yeah.
But so wait, Juicy Suds has a website?
Yeah, it's on Instagram.
It's on Instagram. Okay, cool.
It's easy. It's as soon as Juicy Suds. That's what's called.
Sold out 24 hours. They're not playing. They're not playing around out here.
They're not playing around.
Wait, is it a single bar you're getting or like a bundle?
I got one bar, but I think there's a 3-bar bundle. It's different. You basically just go to the IG page and then they'll have all that sought out. You know what I mean? So yeah. So yeah. That's one I could promote right now. And anybody plugging anything? Anybody promoting anything else? You guys want to promote something? It's Christmas.
I mean, the holidays. If you want a photo shoot, definitely hit me up. The only thing I can promote is my actual work that I was just actually working on. So, just essentially.
Show us what we're working with. Show us what you're working with.
It's just showing some of my work, I see it.
Okay, she's doing a little touch-ups to some photography at the moment.
Because this is what it originally looked like.
That with the visor, it looks like a COVID in the future piece. That's going around.
That was what it looked like beforehand.
Hey.
And then this is what it looks like now. So
jeez.
Just touch up, like it's just
look at touch up, brush up.
That's it. Yeah. But yeah, if you're interested in doing holiday images or holiday portraits, definitely check out Z Studio TO on Instagram and send me an email. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Other companies that I'm just remembering off the rip that I'm gonna say, shout out Gifts by Tiff. That's one.
Okay.
The Small Touch. Brittany Barber. There's a bunch of people. I wasn't prepared, but next time I'm gonna start doing more promos.
Yeah,
we're gonna do more promos and things. So shout out to them so far. Don't feel away. RA Naturals for the CMOS. That's all I can remember. So there's probably more. We'll get back to you. We'll get back next week.
But I was about to say, everybody who wants to have their business or anything promoted, definitely send us an email, send us a DM on Instagram, tag us, whatever. We'll put your name up. Let the people know about you.
Yeah, I'll definitely have a better tagline, with the voice and everything. This podcast is brought to you by.
Right.
Dumb ones. But we're gonna talk about some different type of bars. In the COVID update, we're talking about the jail bars. When we're talking about jail bars, we're talking about prisons. So, for the COVID update, over 100 staff at the Milton jail unjustly placed on leave despite adhering to COVID measures. Over 100 staff members at the Maplehurst Correctional Center in Milton have been unjustly placed on leave stemming from an order issued by the Halton Public Health as a result of ongoing COVID-19 outbreaks at the jail, sources tell CTV City News. Sources indicate that it has impacted as many as 70 to 100 correctional officers and several sergeants.
Sergeants too. Wow. Okay.
Now, apparently, I guess due to down there, apparently the correction officers don't need to be vaccinated. It's not mandatory. You know what I mean? August 17th, they said, they're making it mandatory, but I guess in certain place, for some reason, you can work at a place and not have the vaccine. But everybody in the place can, like you could work at a restaurant and not have the vaccine, but everybody in the restaurant that's getting food, dining in must have the vaccine. I mean, logic that I don't understand. But also, the problem with this situation is now the union local 234 says correctional workers were informed on November 30th the province will not be providing paid leave to unvaccinated staff forced to miss work for contracting COVID-19 or if there was a active outbreak. Now, I seen this coming. If I was gonna say, I've seen this coming. I hate the fact that there's outbreaks in the jail cell because I don't think that would be coming from the prisoners. I mean, it's not like people are getting bite by a mosquito and catching COVID. You know what I mean?
Don't give them any ideas.
You know what I mean? It has to be people that are going home or not going home, catching it and bringing it into the place. I don't even know how they're managing that out there. You know what I mean? They're already contained for whatever place, prison is supposed to be meant for rehabilitation and you're catching COVID.
Which is wild. I think some people in prison have tried to use that excuse like, yo, I'm in COVID, I'm sick, can you reduce my time sentence? Can't get parole, and then they're like, nah, you gotta go with the COVID and do your time,
It's crazy. And then now you have staff workers now the way I see it, it just seems like it's just gonna be like a turning wheel of people leaving because they don't want to get vaccinated. And then you're gonna have people that are just getting hired because they are vaccinated. So they're just gonna be like, let's just turn the wheel. You know what I mean? Replace these guys with fresh blood, fresh meat or whatever.
Fresh meat, yeah.
And who knows? I don't know if the wages are the same.
See, that's the fine print they don't tell you. It won't be the same. I guess two things are happening at once. They just happen to not take it, and then they happen to have the time, and they have a higher per hour. So they're like, okay, 2 in 1. We'll get these high wages out. We'll pull someone new in. We can cap them lower than before, and the vaccine. Oh, that's a 2 in 1 for me. It's easy. So, well,
I know this COVID thing was a serious thing when some jobs had pop-up shops. They said, hey, come here at this time and you could get your shot.
Which is, they went to, I think, around the Downs area. I think they took over wherever they play soccer at, they took that whole thing over and just rows of people,
getting
shots in.
Getting jab. It's crazy. Are you guys vaccinated? I'm vaccinated and I feel Like nothing's happened to me as yet.
I got like one, but that's really it. The rest, I'm still like a hand on the chin, just like this is gonna go left at some point.
You know what?
This is gonna go
I'm not
left.
gonna lie. At first, at the time, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get vaccinated. That's fine. And then, but you know what? The thing that I thought about shows like The Walking Dead.
Oh, it plays in your mind now. You're just like,
Because you remember how The Walking Dead starts and I Am Legend, but it was funny because Sean Diesel from Blizzard Boys, he's like, yo, you watch I Am Legend. I Am Legend was that whole thing, you know.
like there's literally the
Bad
whole
Batch,
yeah,
and the whole world went haywire. And I just don't want to be in. I don't want to be when things start happening. That's why I'm on my natural tip right now. Natural stuff. You know what I mean? Sea moss and ginger, and I'm eating like cloves of garlic. I'm trying to be okay.
I said cloves of garlic. Wow, that's
like
you shouldn't be. You should be okay, right? Because that's what they advertise.
I want the power of nature to attack whatever chip that they instilled in my body that's changing my bloodstream according to the conspiracy vaccination people. That's making me somewhat sterile in some ways, which I don't understand because I don't know if there's actual scientific proof, and if there is, that'd be one of the biggest lawsuits in the world. That I don't. You see what I'm saying? You see how lost I am? You see how I lost you guys? This is how complicated it gets. Now
they're saying you're not breed. You will be shooting water, literal water. Nothing swimming. It's gonna be
water.
It's gonna be. It's literally you'll be shooting water.
Not water.
And when you find out on that, it could be a blessing day or a dreadful day, where the person you're with gets pregnant, and you're like, "Wait a minute, this is not my baby." Then you'll know. Then you will know. You go to the doctor and you're like, "We're having trouble conceiving," and then that thing happens, and then they're just like, "Yeah, you've been sterile for like 9 months." And you're like, and then you're like, "But I already signed the certificate. Child's not mine." Oh man, here we go. That's a 5-season. That's a 5-season show right there. So,
yo, the way I'm shout out because like, man, I wonder what COVID would have been like without social media. That's the one thing I think about. Like the news is the only thing, and the radio is the only thing that told you, and maybe the barber. Well, not even the barber, because you couldn't go to the barber.
You couldn't. Oh, that's another thing cut out. That'd be weird. So it's only the news and the radio and phone calls. That's it. And then talking outside with people.
Right.
That's weird.
Then you go to the barber shop, and then that's when you hear the conspiracies.
But then now it's like the internet. You hear it like all throughout the net. Like,
and then you have these anti-vax vigilantes, and everybody's just, you know what I mean? The one guy is like a hero, if you want to call it, for standing against this. You know what I mean? All I'm saying is, I'm gonna catch a flight this month. I don't want no lockdowns. I want to be able to go and come back. That's all I want.
Just be careful. Make sure that whichever country you go to is not on the red listed or blocked or whatever category.
You came from Nigeria.
Nigeria. You're not. You are staying. What? You want to go to your homeland, right? You want to go back, huh? You thought you were Nas and Belly, huh? You want to go?
Oh, sure.
You want to go back to Africa? All right, you stay out there.
But the joke is, what you're saying is actually a lived experience.
But can you imagine? Think about it.
Like, so wait, like someone is like,
yeah. Somebody I know said exactly that Canada was refusing to take them back and they themselves, they're like, this is crazy. I am a born in Canada, Canadian citizen, and they took their passport.
They took their passport. Whoa, wait, explain this. You gotta explain this because
This is the, you know what's the funny thing about this situation?
you gotta explain that because
The Omicron, they said it was
South
made
Africa.
like South Africa.
blaming black people first. Go ahead.
So they warn you, so they warn these countries like, hey, there's another variant here, but we have it under control because we locked down everything and we're good over here technically.
Yeah. Until
they've done the precautions because, you know, we don't play that. Like if it says lockdown, we don't play this little fight for your rights for no, we're on lockdown. Everybody stay in your damn house.
Mm.
We don't play those games.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And then we tell you, hey,
okay,
yeah,
I'm gonna catch up the chat. Hold on, I'm gonna catch up.
So we tell you, hey, there's a variant here, but we have it under control. Okay, clink, lock the doors on you. You're not coming in. Okay, thanks for letting us know. But yeah, you stay over there.
Right?
It sounds crazy. It sounds like it makes sense. I mean, you're sick. Oh, okay, you stay. But I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird.
But it was the fact that they weren't even the ones who had it first. It was Europe.
It was Europe.
The same place that had the high numbers, especially like in Italy, who had people dropping left, right, and center at the beginning of it.
Yeah. I think if you add every Europe country right now together, like their cases, it's easily 500,000 up, easily. Like they're on fire right now. They're like gonorrhea burning right now. Like,
I mean,
like they're
sure.
like.
I mean, if you want to say,
just to emphasize, like.
I mean,
right?
Sure.
I mean, I had asked them later on if they received their passport back, and they said yes. But yeah.
But at the time, they're just like.
At the time, the government, actually, the Canadian government, withheld their passport. They had to find officials. They had to call so many people just for them to be able to get a flight back. And they ended up having to pay more money than what their actual original ticket was because they kept getting their stuff canceled.
But that's the thing. You remember, did you guys remember when, what was it, 2 years ago when Trudeau was like, yeah, we're going to get everybody to come back. But then we're like, we're gonna pay for the flights for you guys to come back. And the country said, yeah, you guys are paying for the flights? How much is a flight? 17,000 a person. Hold it. Hold this bill, yo. Hold this bill, yeah. Double up. You guys are paying for this? All right, dude. Mark up.
First class.
Mark up. You get the economy, but you're paying for like 3 first class flights.
But then why would they be upset, especially when flights were like significantly lower and more affordable?
All these things can happen. All these things are happening because it's a pandemic. That's it.
But that's what I mean. So how is the government all of a sudden shook by 1,700 when the price would have really been probably $3,000?
Pandemic.
See, but that's what I'm saying. But to me, like, I think that looks like somebody does not actually do their budget. That's what that looks like.
Oh, and you know why? You know why?
Why?
Pandemic.
No, pandemic or not. If the original prices before the pandemic were $3,000 for a flight for 10 days, all of a sudden airfare, and we all know this, the prices went down. They didn't go up. They went down because they needed people to fly still, so they can still have the money moving around in the industry. So if the prices now drop to $1,000 instead of $3,000, and you offer, hey, we'll cover your ticket round trip, it's still $1,000.
But it went up because of the pandemic. That's it.
Still didn't go back up before pandemic numbers, though.
It went down because of the pandemic. It went up because of the pandemic.
But
there's no explanation.
Not pre-pandemic numbers, though.
I know, but still,
That's what I'm saying. Lack of like
uh,
actual budgeting skills.
that's pandemic. You don't need a budget when it's pandemic. They were
Yes, you
throwing money out.
do.
They were throwing out the money out the Brinks truck with Serb and all these other. They didn't even think about what they're doing. They were just throwing it, trying to contain everything.
But here's a joke though. So because I've been recently looking up it does matter. It does matter. Because supposedly I was watching the 2015 Canadian elections, federal debate, and they said 86 families in Canada have the equivalent of the entire population in wealth.
In wealth, yeah.
86 families.
That's less than 100.
Count
have
them up.
the equivalent. I was like, if each person had $1 million, if each of those families had $1 million, that's $86 million. But they have the equivalent of everybody.
It's the rich. That's what the rich say. It's just how it is.
That's including the government's payout too, to everybody who's on social assistance.
Just find out who that family is, and then I guess I don't know. You could go from there. But I'll just say all I'm gonna say is when it comes to the people in Maplehurst, I hope they find a way to like help everybody in there. For the people, the sergeants, the workers, and all that stuff, I hope they figure it out, and all these other people figure it out. That's all I'm saying. They just need to figure it out because it doesn't make any sense to me.
That they're going unpaid?
Yeah. At the same time, I get it, but it's like it's not easy. It's not an easy like. It's not easy. It's not an easy like.
I mean, it is. I mean, the first question you have to ask is are our prisons private or public owned?
I don't know how that works. I don't know how that works about that. I don't know anything about the prisons. I don't know. For me, I just feel like they have to be. They got to be paying. They got to be paid for that. That's all I'm saying.
The people who are being let off.
People, I feel like if you're unvaccinated, you got to deal with that. Sorry, I'm tripping out. If you're unvaccinated, you just gotta.
What is she?
That's our tripping out.
What? What's the?
You just gotta deal with what's going on. Like, I mean, there's jobs out there that is unvaccinated people could work, or you got to deal with the rapid tests every 48 hours.
48 hours.
Just deal with it. You have to deal with it. This is the conditions now. This is what it is until things change. People think it's never going to change. And it's just like...
So our prisons are owned by our government. There we go.
Okay.
So it makes sense. They are cutting pay. They can't afford to pay these people. So they're trying to cut corners by not paying people on their leave.
But the way I see it though, because it's a pandemic, it's like, I'm gonna say this, because it's a pandemic, going to work without your vaccine is like going to work without women's.
It's not.
That's how they see it. It's a safety protocol that they're trying to do. It doesn't stop an injury, just like halls don't stop a cold and the vaccine don't stop of COVID, but it is something.
If you are not positive, you have not contracted the actual thing, and the person who is vaccinated is the one who is contracted and positive with COVID, why should you, the worker who doesn't have the vaccine, be penalized for someone who is vaccinated who contracted it?
Okay, put it like this then. If someone didn't take Wimmis and the person that took Wimmis got injured, they're going to have to make sure everybody else takes Wimmis. And if you don't take Wimmis, you can't work.
But as I was saying, but the person who took Wimmis, it would be negligent on the person who took Wimmis and still got hurt.
And that person,
not the person who didn't.
Okay,
they wouldn't be responsible. The
Well, at the
person with
same,
women's
yeah,
free.
you gotta figure. You gotta actually make sure you can say that, hey, it was negligence. You can't. Sometimes this could be accidental, or it could be sometimes
Exactly.
right. But at the same time, I
So
think women's and COVID vaccines is the same thing in the sense of they don't. I guess it's passing liability. I guess
That's literally it. It's just it's a
it's just
but
liability.
that's what
passing
I mean.
liability.
But that's what I mean. So the people who are now being infringed on are not the people who really
Oh,
are the risk.
oh,
That's really what it is.
Oh, so the people that don't have the vaccinate are not vaccinated are not the risk? Is that what you said? Because you kipped out.
Yes, that's exactly what I said.
But
They are not the
this,
ones who
the
are
problem
putting
is
themselves exposed to people who do not have the access to certain things, who are not sitting in spaces for more than 15 minutes,
but
who
the
are
thing
not
about
able to
it,
have access to many places.
but the thing about it, it's more. I get that they may be the most responsible person, which is that may be true, but
when they look at that paperwork, they're gonna be like,
when they look at that paperwork, they want to make sure that, hey, you know what? If this person caught COVID or whatever, they want to make sure, these companies want to make sure it's like we've done everything on our part
to not get
to
sued,
not be blamed or not be blamed for any of this.
Okay, but cutting somebody's pay.
That has nothing. They could cut people cut pay. What is it, Alpo or whatever? People cut pay every day, B. You'll be all right. People cut pay every day.
No,
That's
because
how they
then
see it.
to me, I look at that as that's setting a precedent to allow for certain things to say you shouldn't get paid.
And you know why that's allowed? Because the pandemic. That's the reason why.
This is not no man.
But
because you know what? After the pandemic, they're gonna turn around and be like, "Oh, well, these things worked within the pandemic in a space or in a situation that has stress. So now that everything is relieved of stress, why should we go back and serve this? It works." That's the problem.
So basically, you don't get the rights back. You don't get the
that's what I'm
structure
saying.
back.
I mean, isn't that a part of like just evolving? Chaos, things that change, because you got to open your third eye. Sometimes things have to break down, some chaos have to happen that we can organize, contain, confine, and build up.
You say this now until you become a retired individual and you have no money for your pension.
Well, first off, I have pension not only by the government. Not only by the government. I have different pensions. So I'm good over here. But
but I'm not even talking about you. I'm talking about other people who may think and say the same things.
No,
right now, people who are not having access to work, right? You have to think of all the technology that's now being instilled into these places that are taking jobs, right? First off, we don't even support our own economy right off the bat. How many Canadian things can you say off the top of your hand that you buy regularly?
Now, here's the question.
Oh, you actually...
No, you got a point, but
that's what I'm saying.
Here's the thing now.
We don't transport, manufacture, or our laborers to our own things. We are being fed and dependent on the hand of other people who are feeding us.
Now
they want to cut it off. We're starving. Just saying.
Now, here's the thing. In a world right now where we have the information, we see what's going on. If you decide not to change, like the whole quest for fire, if you decide not to change and adapt to what's going on, who's responsible for that? Is it the people that are changing everything, or is it you staying stagnant?
But the Bible be staying the same for how many years and people still be following it. So,
but the difference between the Bible, you know, we're not gonna get there because that's actual structure and actual things that make sense. But when it comes to, don't put my Bible in this. Don't put my Bible in this. I see what you're doing. but that ain't gonna work.
just saying,
I'm not that ain't gonna
when
work
there are
because
certain laws
there's a
that
difference.
are
There's a
being
difference between no, not doing it. Because I'm gonna get in trouble tonight. But at the end of the day,
yes.
the vaccine and these companies are doing this so they don't want to be responsible
Okay,
for
so
bringing people
they
to
don't
work
want to
and
be
not
like,
getting people sick, and then saying, even though people are bound to get sick because this vaccine updates like roaches.
okay,
And
exactly.
DLC.
So what liability are you avoiding? This sounds like a fear decision. You're
because
being pressured and coerced to change your policies to appease to something, and especially since the prison is owned by the government, to appease whatever it is that they're trying to enforce. That's not,
that's
everyone's
just
going to
how,
get sick regardless.
but that's
COVID
just
or
how it is.
no, non-vaccinated or vaccinated, you're still going to get COVID regardless. So what liability are you really avoiding if both parties are still going to be and have the same chances of contracting it?
No,
different.
I wouldn't say the same chances. It's
Yeah, and that's the thing.
If you're it's you have a higher chance. I have to flip that. It's you can still catch it if with the shot, but it's just
Then why was York region,
what?
for example, having an weighing the people who are not vaccinated?
At the end of the day, I'll say this. At the end of the day, these are how things are changing. And at the same time, it could change because of the pandemic. Everybody's still trying to figure it out. And people don't want to be reliable at the end of it to be like, people, all I see is it's a money thing. I see it as all money. And I see it as you know,
right?
liability. They don't want to be responsible for anybody, because if you could say, oh, this person was unvaccinated, that person got COVID, and he ruined it for everybody else, they don't want to have that responsibility. That's what they're doing. As much as they can say, that's why it's like, oh, you were vaccinated, but you got COVID. Okay, we don't have to lock down the whole place technically. That's how they move though. But that's how they move.
That's how they move. I was about to say, like, for certain schools so far,
liability.
Like I think there's a couple of students got it,
liability,
and then they just clapped the whole school. They're just like, oh nope. They didn't even
because people were unvaccinated. But like if everybody's vaccinated, it's like basically it's like you got shot, but the vaccination is technically supposed to be a bulletproof vest. So you got shot. Oh, you got shot. Oh, you feeling it? You buy it. You'll be able to go back to work.
But you're still not going to be sent to ER though.
You're not but
and you're not going to be checked to see if it actually pierced you.
Yeah,
and you're not going to be inspected just in case.
That's right. Okay.
But at the same time,
the one thing
a bulletproof vest doesn't save you from death.
It doesn't save you from death.
But
it is a caution.
Right. And this is what they're doing. They're making precautions. And at the end of the day, they can do whatever they feel to protect their company and whatever they deem as liability. Why? It starts with a letter P.
But you know what? No, but you know what? What you said, that analogy of the bulletproof versus the non-bulletproof is actually really good, because if somebody does get shot, yes, obviously the person who gets shot, you take them to ER, get them whatever, there's a precaution, say they are cops, whatever the case is, right? If they have a bulletproof and they get shot and say it actually fractures a rib, whatever it is, indents and has enough to like hit or fracture or whatever. Based on what you said, it was just like, well, because you got the bulletproof vest on, let it go. But then down the lane, that could actually be the thing that causes a death because you didn't follow procedure to take this person and make sure they're checked, do whatever, and do the procedure. So
I was about to say that. I think you still get the 2 weeks, even if you get it.
But right, here's the thing:
have, like,
these companies, a lot of these companies are buying on the chance that none of that's being reported, or it's not able to track and put these things together. They rather gamble on that. But at the end of the day, these people are going to make their moves and hope for the best in the end because of the pandemic. And then They could say, hey, we weren't able to contain this because of the pandemic. The pandemic will always be the excuse.
I understand that the pandemic will always be the scapegoat. I understood that completely. However, if you're still not following procedure altogether, then it's useless.
But the procedure
you're infringing and you're causing more harm by not even following procedure.
Right. That's why they're saying people to take the vaccine and go to work.
So people can override procedure.
But that's the thing. The vaccine. We're gonna wrap this up because we can't go COVID all day. But the vaccine is meant as whatever the first wave, third wave, or final wave, trimester, whatever you want to call it, for preventing COVID. That's how I see it. So
I feel like
if this is what their move is, and they say, listen, you can't work unless you take this, you got a decision to make. And yeah, it could be like a scam. It could be this, but hey, right now, nobody's thinking about that right now. It's sad. As much as it's sad, but it's like sometimes money talks more than this, and this happens, and you know what I mean? It's hard to even, it's hard. It's hard. It's an uphill battle for people that want to question and challenge it. But at the same time,
I mean, it just sounds like people
it as being a health thing, right? It's a health thing at the same time. People are saying, you're not looking out for us, we're looking for other people. And that's the thing that's going on.
I understand that. I mean, liability is liability. You're so right about that. However, if it's going to impede your actual ability to still report things and do things according to the book, then that's a problem. And that's how I see it. Like, then the incentive of actually being vaccinated is not really good, because if it's going to change people's ability to be morally correct and efficient in their job, then that's a problem. And then that is harming people and their health, regardless of all the precautions that they're trying to actually make.
Now, when you say precautions, do you mean a place that doesn't check if people that are vaccinated that are like they don't do the temperature check, they say, oh, you got vaccinated, okay, we're not checking you.
Yeah.
Even though there's a chance you still might get it and still might spread it, but
and still carry it. Yeah. If that's what that is essentially allowing, a lack of that, then you're actually imposing more health risks to other people than you're really trying to be precautionary for.
Maybe, but at the end of the day, we'll find out in the next 20 years because it's the pandemic. I feel like when the smoke clears, that's when we can actually get a proper clarity whenever this will clear. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it'll clear pretty fast.
I don't know. But at the end of the day, when the smoke clears, that's when we can actually look and say, guys, what the hell has happened? And
I said it first. 2020, you're gonna see some shit. You're gonna see some next type of
2020.
You're gonna see some smoke clearing.
But you said 2020. You said 2020.
Oh, sorry, 2022. Yeah, 2022. You're gonna see some smoke clearing. Like what? Like, yo, that person should be fired. The market. It's 9:53 East right now, PM. It's gonna happen next year.
Yeah. All right. I feel like that too. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Even based off of that,
you misled the public into the.
When that.
Not even that. It's just like, you guys, did they show you your stuff? Yes, they showed us our certificate. Did you actually check their temperature? No. Did you actually do this? No. So what were your actual ways? Like, I just feel like, anyways. But yeah.
We'll see how it goes. But anyway.
I see you in the chat. I'm not ignoring you. It's just a lot of paragraphs coming in, but I just want to catch up on a few things. She was discussing about the price gouge. That was regarding the air flights. She said it's about mitigating risk. We're talking about that. Greater mutation to unvax versus vax. She said, all right, no more vaccinating children. We can dish like polio, measles, mumps, and rubella.
Mm-hmm.
Do I know a rubella?
Mhm.
Anyways,
I mean, my
Uh,
only thing is, I always kind of feel like, why haven't they just added this to your vaccination chart record that you already have?
the paper thing. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know. No, that's
It's a system that has been working for how many years now? Why?
it's the pandemic, and I don't know.
So why? No, don't say that. That's like,
I'm gonna say
you
it
know what?
because I'm gonna
That's
say
like
it because
saying why
a
Black
lot
people
of
be like so hard to get out
no
the struggle
hold on no completely different.
because of trauma.
Completely.
Oh, that's a good title.
No,
Hold on.
no, completely different. The reason why is because when it comes to this pandemic, it's changed multiple ways to the point that everybody is lost.
Trauma.
For a Black community, I don't want to get into it, but I feel like I think we all know what the issue is. It's just executing. The pandemic is so random to the point that we can't figure it. Like it's not like we're playing trial and error right now.
Yeah, this is called survival in trauma. Yes. Mm-hmm.
This is not trauma. I don't
this
think
is not traumatic.
The pandemic is not.
The pandemic was not traumatic.
COVID caused traumatic things, but it's a pandemic. It's a pandemic, and that's all I'm gonna say on that.
This is called pandemic, and what happened to Black people is called colonialism. But yes,
we're gonna wrap it up because what is it? 40 minutes about this? Okay, we're wrapping it up.
That's 40 minutes. Jeez. Okay.
But I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's just talking about politics, talking about the way that, as Ira was saying, the wage gap, how people are being treated as a response to not having, or whether they're saying that they're not going to be participating in the government's like policies. This is the individual, you know, like that's just really what it is. It's the concept of politics, what we need, all these other stuff. That's it.
Yep. Well, the harsh reality right now. No, I'm not. No. Anyway, next topic. Instead about money and other traumatic situations. No, we're gonna talk about money and we're gonna talk about other traumatic situations. And it starts with collections. Now, according in the US of A, in America, debt collectors are now allowed to contact you via social media.
Oh, which means access to your desktop computer, your tablet, your laptop, and your phone.
Basically, how it goes so far, based off the rules, is they can follow you as a friend. I guess it is like they can follow you as a friend. I don't know if it's follow you as a friend or whatever.
What?
It could be a random page that messages, and they can't write on your wall. They can't be like, "Hey, so you flaunting the money? Oh, you on a flight, eh? What about that money you owe us?" No, they basically have to message you and be like, they have to let you know who they are. Basically, when they message you, they have to know, "Hey, this is CBV Collections." Or this is Give Me the Money Collections. This is Max the Mob Boss Collections.
The Mob Boss.
Dog the Bounty Hunter. Like whatever it is. They can message you in your social media and be like, "Hey, you know, we know you have a $10,000 thing, but if you have 20 grand, 2 grand, we can wipe it off. We could wipe off your bill, off your record." How do you guys feel about this?
Did they really just give debt collectors that's probably the most scumbag job you could get in the universe? Did they just give them access to like?
I don't think it's a scumbag job. That's kind of
cold. A debt.
I don't think it's as cold. I think it's a traumatic job. I don't think that's easy. You're calling to ask somebody, "Hey, where's the money?" And I didn't pay you. You know how much people you probably have to deal with and actually try to help? And then there's some people that will give you the attitude. "I told you, they used my name."
Think of it like this, though.
But yeah.
Which neighborhoods do you see them in, though?
What, debt collectors?
Which neighborhood you
There's
see
debt
them in?
collectors. I'm gonna tell you this. There's debt collectors everywhere.
Every
It's
neighborhood?
just I'm gonna tell you right now. There's debt collectors everywhere, but it's just different type of debt collectors. A lot of people are in debt. You just don't see it. I guarantee you that.
This is true. I mean, we're not going to say no, people are not in debt. I mean, in order for you to make a business, you have to start with some form of debt, right?
Mhm.
So, but I think where KD is like, you know, the scumbag job, it
It's
is
a
the fact
little.
that you're what debt does, and especially since you're a debt collector, therefore this person's stuff has gone to collections, which affects your credit.
Mhm.
And since this world and society is built on your credit, that means if your credit is gone to shit, you're not able to get a home to be a functioning person. So the idea of getting an asset and building equity on a home is not going to be accessible to you anymore. The ability to even get a car so you can move or drive to work and make your living or cost expenses easier. What else? What else affects your credit and abilities to do things that can possibly build you up as an individual?
You can give 20,000 cash or attempt to give 20,000 cash to someone, and they'll be just like, "Nah, what's your social look like?" And it's like, "What?
Yeah.
You don't take
No,
cash?
I get that,
What the hell?"
but
A credit card, even a credit card. You
right.
can't get a credit card because if your credit is bad, and this could be on, and this is the other thing, credit scores or credit debt does not reflect some of the adversity or challenges that people may have faced. It is very dehumanized and is only based on numbers, and that's it. And the meritocracy does not account for if somebody was sick, going through any debts, had to move, had to go to school, any of those other things. So,
But that's so. What is the point you guys are trying to say now? Is you trying to say what are you trying to? What's the point?
Anyone that takes a
why are
job,
you furthering to harass people?
But okay. I'll be fair though. If you got to go to a debt collector place just to be like, "Oh, I need cash now," and the person's like, "Hey, I'm going to charge you back what this thing is worth, but 20%," and you're like, oh, I just need cash now." And it's like, okay, the accountability there. You got to be like responsible.
I'm gonna say this. I'll just say this. Me personally,
Uh-oh.
I prefer. I know you guys say it's a scumbag job.
Here we go.
I prefer having a debt collector call me and whatever than man say, "Oh, so you don't have the money," and beat you up because you don't have the money.
Straight violence. I mean,
straight violence. I'm glad there's a law that, you know, the mafia way of doing things is not suitable. You know what I mean? And you have collections to report to. You don't have to report to even the man them. They just say, you know what, I'm gonna send you to collections. But at the same time, for them going on social media, for me, the reason why I found that hilarious and scary at the same time is because one, there's a lot of people that are flaunting on social media.
Instagram, land of the fake.
Land the fake. And it would just be an interesting day that you're getting all these DMs like, "Oh, you're a baddie, oh, you're a papa saying you're out of town," and it's like, "Hey, we need our money back collection services. It seems that you still owe this. Da, 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 da. Are you able to make a payment today?" It shows that you're active now. You know what I mean? That's how I see it. But at the same time, I feel like this can go terribly wrong because what if a debt character goes rogue?
That's all it takes. That's all it takes.
All it takes is one debt collector going rogue saying, "I'm the company man, and I'm tired of all these people not paying my companies." So they decide, you know, they don't know who it is. I'm gonna make a page. See this person right here, profile, da 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 da. You see them looking like this, da 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 da. But he owes $10,000 to this, $5,000 to this, 200 to this, da 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 da.
Facebook.
That's when it gets scary to me.
James, I don't know if you remember this, but a while back, this is before they fixed Facebook how many times over. There used to be like like Facebook groups that expose people. So
Right.
remember yeah. So it's like, yo, that's wild.
What if there was the rogue debt collector that decides, hey, remember when 50, yo, I remember this when 50 in his book, he was talking about it. Yo, when he exposed the one guy that was acting up for not paying, a bunch of people paid him around the same time.
TV.
Because they knew that, yo, if this goes out on the street, you know what I mean? So maybe it could be a money management issue. Yes, financial foundation is a part about it, but I think I understand why they're doing it. But at the same time, I feel like it can go terribly wrong.
I think another way, what if the person doesn't even owe debt and they're just like, yeah, you owe debt?
But that's
Well,
the thing.
that's where the scammers come in, you know?
That's
See
where
what
the
I'm saying?
scammers come in.
Ooh.
And oh, guys, speaking of that, a lot of profiles are getting hacked. There is a hack thing going on.
What do you mean hacking? Like they're just changing the picture, or like?
I
No, they're
don't.
looking at those profiles.
People are getting a full hack, and people are doing what's it called? Hostage videos.
Wait, okay, hold on. You gotta speak to me slow. Like,
Time out. I'm just gonna say. I'll say it like this.
What's going on here?
I'll say it like this.
Yo, what?
The hacker page. Apparently, what's been going on is people are getting hacked, and they tell you, okay, promote my business, and they still have their page hacked. They're not getting their page back. Or if it's a Bitcoin thing or whatever. It's like I'm just saying, these people are getting hacked.
So strong arm digital robbery.
Those people are getting hacked, and people are going on people's DMs and saying, hey, transfer me this.
Straight up, just cash at me this. Straight up. Like,
there's a hacking thing going on. But anyway, at the
wow.
end of the day, debt collectors on social media. That is new to me. I feel like that's a no opening of jobs, probably. I guess the social media thing.
New jobs. Yeah.
Hey, the social media sector of debt collections, I would assume.
That's where the money for tech went, eh?
You know what? Now that I said Instagram landed the fake, they're about to they just made like a new. There's like lightning in the bottle. Just like, yo, you know how many people are fake stuff on Instagram? You know how many
Let's make a metaverse. Can you imagine debt collectors in the metaverse just showing up in your metaverse virtual house like, hey, how's it going?
That is so creepy. That's a Black Mirror thing. But that's
so it seems that you owe us some money.
Remember, Z, you're in a virtual headset.
I'm gonna turn off my virtual headset. I cannot let you do that.
Can't go nowhere.
So that online thing. You're not going nowhere
until you pay this.
You're going to work virtually.
Oh, this got creepy. Oh, it just got creepy now.
Can you imagine?
Damn.
The virtual headsets like Sword Out. I remember Sword Out Online when it got stuck in the game.
Which is for those that are watching, it's an anime. So I think So like what happened? Yeah. Or like
going to be working, and then there's a whole man. I don't want to be conspiracy. But can you imagine that? It's a harsh reality. But it's funny.
That's creepy.
That's the thing. First I laugh because I'm like, oh, these people that's faking out there. You're gonna have to priorities. But at the same time,
we take it in. You're like, yo, this is actually deadly. Like
it's rogue. You can go rogue, and then you're gonna mash up people's lives, or get the money you owe.
From who?
Well, whatever company you took for. But this is the funny thing about debt collectors too. Like some debt collectors, they make a little profit off of the debt. I think they buy the debt and then you pay them. Now,
or an insurance, and therefore the company gets paid 3 times. Yes.
Right.
Jeez, wow.
The joke is sometimes, like, if you go back to your company and say, hey, I want to pay you back the money, the debt collectors get cheesed. You're supposed to pay me. It's like, no, I owe the company, not you.
Mm-hmm. That's why you're supposed to ask for less.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's different. It's It's a weird thing, but hey.
It's like
And
it's like getting spam calls like asking for like they're asking you for like vacuum cleaners and cleaning your air ducts. It's like it's weird. It's like this. It's just like they let
they're
an
not supposed
entity
to do
just
that.
access to
They're not
everybody.
supposed to do that. They do it all the time. The duct cleaning people, hey, and then they're talking from their paper. Hey, how are you? We are doing duct cleaning in your air. No, I like my ducks dirty. Thanks. And just go on your way.
That's a weird one, man. Debt
Uh,
collectors. That's I
Yeah,
don't know,
that's a new
man.
one. Another thing that I guess the final topic, or I don't know what time is it now, but little comedic topic that I thought about. I've seen like these pictures. I think spiritual word. Sounds spiritual word. I wish they could like sponsor or something. But spiritual word. They had a post about like women covering up the faces of their partners. Like they blur out their face that they're seeing somebody of the person. I help me help me
Help us understand
under,
that.
help me understand this concept. I understand it when it's babies. I understand it when it's like other things, but
Mm.
you're pursuing someone and they cover the person's face. Like they'll take the full photo, but the face is like one tone.
Oh,
So you don't see any definition in their face. Why is that? What are these guys are convict men or something? Are they on the
I
run?
cannot. That could be one of them.
Are
That
they
could
on
be
the
one.
run?
I was recently told by a man, actually. Ooh, it was so good. That women will go after the same man because, that's the actual philosophy. The more women that you attract, the more attractive a man is, the more valuable he is. Cool.
I mean that is a sad fact. I mean,
So why? Exactly. So if that is the fact, the sad fact of whatever it is, the fact, then why would I show this man so he could be attracted or attracting other women? So his value goes up?
I mean, women that do that, like you're not really doing anything. It doesn't stop anything. Like
So
it's
basically, it's like social media eliminate if
No,
you
this
show
is
the
like,
person's face.
no, I mean, like what he said to me is that women tend to vet men. That's what they do. So if you're dating a man, essentially a guy who has a woman who is actually in a relationship, he becomes significantly more attractive for whatever reason. And you, depending on how long the relationship too, are vetting this man to say whether or not he's great. So why wouldn't you want to be gravitating to what greatness looks like? You want to sit around all these beautiful men because all the other guys are trash. Like, what does he have that all these other single men don't have?
Okay, so they
mm,
blur out the guy's face because they don't want other people to like go approach that same person.
on social media. Because if you guys do activities together, I mean,
On social media, in person, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
no, but you have to go out to eat. You go out to eat, so unless you don't go out with them to eat, you don't do outdoor activities, nothing like.
Do you see where it could backfire?
Of course.
Because I may be wrong because I don't know anything about this.
Two girls can be
I'm out
touching
of this. You know what I mean? I'm out of this situation. I don't deal with that. But could it? What if that same man you're blurring has like a wife and kids? Like, you know what I mean? Or
Oh,
that could be another reason.
that's
right.
so
Oh, so that could be another. Oh, so it could be like, okay, I don't want people to
So as
approach
you
it.
said,
And then another reason is like, yo, I am ruining a home.
ooh, that went
Or
dark.
it could be the man's a scammer man. It could be I don't want this guy to be attracting girls and they try to holler at him
on
and
the
find him
run.
and this and that. Or he could be on the run, or he could have a wife and kids and I'm a home wrecker. Like,
That
there's
just
an
went
assortment of
dark.
reasons.
Hot girl.
That
That's a
just went.
hot girl season. That's a hot girl season.
Many reasons.
Shout
Hot.
out to the great mistresses of the world who will blur out who they're
I
messing
can't.
with face.
I said the
You- no,
mistress.
I know
The problem is,
you gotta
you know
shout
what's a
them out.
joke? You know what's a funny thing?
You gotta shout that
can't
out.
say you don't know what the reason is yet. You don't know any reason, so you can't even. I can't judge because I don't know what the reasons are.
This guy said on the run
See-
though. That's
see-
wild.
It's a case by case.
Do you see how like I understand it, but do you see how like strategic that is to the point that you can't even like pick through it to
I'm telling
say
you.
like it's a you know what I mean?
It's advanced. That's advanced.
Women like I'm not gonna say women, but people can be bulletproof when they really think this through. Like and like wow.
That's pretty. It's just like I
mean, I have a picture on my profile of a guy. You don't know who the guy is.
But is it? Are they blurred or like
No,
their
No, you just don't see the
you don't
face. You
see
probably
the
see like a
face.
bicep.
Yeah, that's it.
Interesting.
So you know what's the funny thing? And now here's the thing. A picture says 1,000. Like the problem is a picture says 1,000 words. And like I'm not gonna say women because a lot of people probably do this. That they make the picture speak. So you can say, okay, that's just a family member. Or it could be, oh, that person is someone, what do they call sneaky leak?
Sneaky link, sneaky link.
Sneaky link.
Yeah.
Or that person is just someone they're seeing, but A, B, C, or D. Is it A? He's on the run. Is it B? Is it he's a felon and he has a gun? Is it C?
Yes.
Is he in another relationship?
Is it another relationship? D, is it all of the above?
All of the
Like,
above. I mean,
is it
Or it could
like,
be, I just don't like to be on social media.
but yet you post your relationship on social media.
Z, you fell into that one. You can't just.
No, I mean like he doesn't want to be seen like in the
He
relationship.
doesn't want to be
Oh,
seen.
okay.
But
I mean,
it's like he's fine with the holding, caressing, and showing love, but he just does not want to be recognized. That's all.
I low-key feel like when some people think like that, when there's some people that like I don't go on social media, I understand, but at the same time, I feel like you may be some type of spy. You maybe have a life that I just don't know yet. It's okay, but like sometimes you're just like,
This guy's not a spy.
so no one knows. So you just showed up. So you just showed up in my life, changed everything for the better.
For the key part.
You're amazing. I feel like I'm an alibi for some wild.
I can't.
I feel like I am an alibi for some.
An alibi.
When I'm not around, you're a part of the CIA. Just fully proof stabbing, killing people with spoons. Like you're John Wick thing, and you come back and act like everything is normal. And I'm like, okay, but like, where do you go with this? You know what I mean?
Wait, here's a question. I'm thinking, do you trust a person that says, I have no social media?
Yes.
So like in your head, do you say,
I
they're telling the truth? Did they while out too much? do they have burner accounts?
Or you want to know why they don't have social media?
Yeah,
basically.
like why? Like
yeah, I mean, I'd ask why.
It makes me think. It makes me think. But sometimes they'd be like, I just didn't feel like I need the one. It's just weird to me. And it's like, okay, it's fair. That's fair. I mean, if you lived that long without it, cool. But who knows? You may be just lying. You had social media the whole time.
Imagine if they end up on someone else's Snapchat or someone else's feed. That's
maybe they're catfishing.
You can't control that.
Maybe they're on there. Maybe they followed you the whole time.
Yes,
and
you can.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, you can control that.
That's not true. You can't control that. I've been on so many people's Snapchat in my life, and I didn't even know who these people were. And somebody else I knew saw them because we have mutual friends, and they were like, "Oh, I saw you on this person's Snapchat," and I'm just like, "Who is this person? I don't know who that is." Like, so you can't control that.
You need to stop coming out in public spaces.
You need
to be careful.
So speaking of that, I'll bridge something here. So Twitter recently was like, yeah, if you're posting random pictures, people or pictures of random people, and the person says like, yo, I don't like that picture on the internet. Take it down. Twitter will snatch that down. So all those
But it's
memes,
which is
against
fine.
the law anyways to take pictures of people in public spaces.
so
anyway.
like all those memes, so all those memes you see of people,
Mhm.
this is the thing. If you're getting clowned on, and then you're like, nah, I don't want, nah, take it down. They're making fun of me. Da, da, da. That the whole thing gets snatched.
Yeah, of course. I
So,
understand why. It has to be. People,
Yeah.
people take their own life from social media.
which is
You know what I mean? I just want to understand the whole espionage of not showing your partner, sneaky link, or whatever his face is. It doesn't matter to me. It's just interesting. Like if
It
like
matters.
why do you want to post some
Well,
like if you're
here's
hiding
the-
it, why would you post it?
Here's the
You know
other.
what I mean?
Here's the other perspective.
It's
I
like
heard
a-
that it's endangerment actually to the guy.
we'll add that to the pile of reasons we just came up with.
Yep. Sometimes it's an
I'm
endangerment.
doing this to protect you. Why? Because there's some mans in the streets that want to deal with yo.
Because there's some
Or
dudes that
deal with the girl.
there's some dudes
But
that are like,
because you ended up getting to that girl, they're like, oh, because some guys be crazy. Some,
I'm about to say like,
I take the word crazy back. Some guys
Is
are
that
emotionally unstable and are unable and have not learned how to deal with rejection yet.
see,
Right.
I don't know if emotionally unstable is.
No.
I think that's
hold on.
worse than being called crazy.
No, but I got a question. I got it. But here's the
I
thing.
think
I got a
emotionally
question.
unstable and has not have not dealt with the concept of rejection yet. That's
Look,
why they're emotionally unstable.
I keep it old school. I call him a modman on the road.
Wow.
hold on.
Okay.
Like that's a
But
modman on the road. Like
But isn't that something I hope that is something that's being discussed before you guys decide to take pictures and post it on social media?
Bro,
That you
yeah.
have some mans on the road. I don't like it's
I could definitely say I have experienced this, but anyway.
But I'm just gonna say it's just interesting to me. Like it's interesting to me because I do feel like a woman could do it and get away. I don't know if a man could do it. I want to see if men has done it.
A man,
Uh,
yes, men have done it.
yeah,
Men have done it where the girl's bending over. All you see is her shape, but you don't see the girl, and it's
You don't
him
see-
and
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
you see exactly the same thing. But the difference is that they be flaunting the girl, but you just never see her face. So you'll see her back, you'll see him holding her, and there's a picture, and it's just like her figure, and that's it. Or like, say they're at a party, and she's like, her face is this way, she's bubbling on him, and he's like having the time of his life, and that's the picture. Like,
I got a question though. Okay.
oh,
For the scenario of the woman doesn't want that man to be snatched by
another woman, basically,
Another woman.
or another dude. I mean, shit.
if you think like that, doesn't
Hmm.
that make it inevitable?
no.
Okay. But you see what I'm saying though. You see what I'm saying though?
You're,
It's like
you're
it's
inviting
like-
it in. Yeah.
Sometimes you don't realize how beautiful your person is to other people until you actually are with them.
but if you know it enough that you have to do that, it's not like you're gonna be around all the time to prevent that.
This is true. You're not going to be there all the time. But I mean, okay,
Yeah, that's
growing
wild.
up, there was a
That's
situation.
wild.
I know that this is very relatable because this
Right.
did happen where there was somebody that I knew and they had a girlfriend and I was this person's friend. Mind you, I was the first person to actually talk to that person in a talking manner. But somebody else swooped in and became their girlfriend. Their relationship didn't last. And dude decided to come back and talk to me, but I wasn't having it. I said, you did what you did. But because my friend and then the girl, the ex-girlfriend, they both were still trying to get at him, even though, and it was literally because anytime they heard that I was talking to the man, they swooped in. As soon as I stopped talking, laid back.
I know. I think I was there on that time. Sounds quite
So that's what I'm
familiar.
saying.
But ooh.
Exactly. See? See? Hmm.
But at the same, oh, okay.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? That's a playing out of even if
So,
you're not there,
all right.
people fall back.
Now, when are we gonna be accountable for the dude when it comes to these things? Because I get it, like you're doing what you have to do to take your preventative measures, but like at the same time, I don't want to be all Steve Harvey and like
Steve Harvey.
the dude, like you gotta be like, hey, dude, this is what's going on. You know what I mean? Like
sometimes
these people,
some
like,
guys they don't
these
know.
people, don't. Yeah, no, it's true.
It's sometimes these guys are oblivious and they don't know how attractive they are, first off. And second off, sometimes they don't even know how attractive they become because they're talking to certain people.
Hey, that's a fact.
That's a super fact.
That's a fact.
Anytime
that is a fact.
Anytime a cute, refined woman.
Everybody wants what everybody wants.
Anytime that happens to me, like,
so say she's like, you know what? I know that say that's her experience. I know as soon as I date you, girls are gonna start flocking.
The stock goes up. Your stock goes up.
Girls are gonna start flocking.
The stock is very.
I just gotta make sure no one sees you because that's the only way that I can live my life.
That's called selfishness, Z. Pure selfishness.
Listen, if you know that every day, the rest of your life after you show this person, there's 10 girls after this guy every time.
It's a baby girl. You better learn to fight them off. You better click that clack. Oh, I'm not gonna promote that. I'm not gonna promote that.
I'm just gonna listen. I just wanted to know the theory, and I feel like I got my answer.
You better shove them off. You can't be out here doing like like I'm trying to leave the house, and then you're like, nah, don't just stay in the house. I'll get the food for you. It's like, come on, like I have a life too. Like,
I'm just gonna say this: if I ever see those photos,
so paranoid, Z.
You go out without me. That's it.
Like, I'm just gonna say, if I ever see those photos,
paranoid.
Just know I'm gonna have fun guessing what the scenario is. I'm gonna have straight storylines.
Straight. That is content.
This is gonna be interesting. I'm just gonna see a photo. I'm like, okay, so this has happened. This is that's
base it off the girl. Yeah,
not based off the girl because I don't know because I haven't seen. The only one I saw was from the spiritual world, and she's like, they're sitting on a couch, but she decides to be on her foreknee, like her knees and hands, and half her body's like covering the man's face, and she's just there staring. And I'm like, okay, now the story here is she's possessive.
I was about to say that. Yes,
she's possessive. That guy asked the girl was gonna give her a menu, and she noticed that girl was approaching them with the menu, and she decided to step over to mark her territory and acknowledge that is thing. The person in the photo didn't really want to take the photo because he was like, "Why are you not showing the guy's face?" He's like, "He just wanted to take a normal photo," but he realized that it was a part of the game. There's a story of the picture.
Wow.
I mean, this has been going on for years, though.
Centuries, millenniums.
Because you know what? There's a girl that I follow now. Her partner is actually, his face is now available, but I feel like maybe she had a different boyfriend. But I'm not too sure if it's the same person. But when he was going through his case, his face was covered. You never saw his face. So
that's a cool one right there.
During that was the reason, right? But you never knew. And she's a public figure. She's out there. You would never know. Even in her vlogs, her videos, you never saw this man's face. Her pictures on social media, you would see his back. You'd see the bottom of his chin and down because she's shorter than him. That's all you would see. But it was because at that time, he was beating a case. So it's like, that was the reason why his face was gone.
It's funny. I think some girls do it. Is like, I'm going to do it to style on my ex or style. Like, it could be various reasons.
That too. Be like, I got somebody.
They'll do a silhouette photo of the guy's taller. Is like, I like a man that I can look up to. Caption.
No, not that.
This year around with the dreads is like natural. That's how I like them. It's like as her lace front blows in the wind.
That's really wild. Discussion,
But anyway,
lace front.
we should wrap this up.
My nice blue one and everything.
You guys have anything to plug? Anything upcoming you guys want to talk about?
As I said, ZZstudio.to on Instagram, or you can check out my website, zzzstudio.ca, because we're Canadian out here. And you can definitely check out The Movement, which is a show that puts a spotlight on Toronto dancers. And I think the last episode, I had the amazing opportunity to meet one of the Legacy's b-boy dancers. Oh, Benzo. And when I mean the story, the culture, him telling me about like the journey of how New York b-boying transferred over to Toronto, how the mix and the mastering, how DJ flexes, how house parties actually used to be here in Toronto. And it's like, we literally, and I kid you not, I said to him, I'm like, so this is where the culture is from. Because I'm like, this is how I know house parties. That is how I literally knew them. And he's like, yeah, that's from us. We did this. And I was like, that's crazy. So definitely check out the story of Benzo on The Movement. And it's really good. Like, I enjoyed it. I think you guys will enjoy it too.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I've been watching. I just keep seeing like these Vogue videos, yo.
Hey, isn't the one where people are falling and then it gets into it?
They show the reactions of other people. I'm like, what the hell is this? I was like, what the hell is this, yo? Yo, listen, people been voguing. You see how these people fall out and drop on their... Listen, people are doing that on ice all their life.
Yeah.
And they turned that into a dance move.
Yo.
Whole the knees bent back and they're dropping on their back, full drop. And everybody's like, yes. I'm like, yo, that's a cocoa in the back of your head. Yeah. That is straight cocoa. If you don't land right and your head whiplash, kabink.
That is funny.
That's what I do, guys. That's what I do. That's what I'm learning to do.
I'm watching this. I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, when you see these people, yeah.
I seen someone, I remember just like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I get it, because I guess it's a form of dance or whatever, but like, to drop on your back and, I was like, what the?
When you have the flexibility,
it is funny though. It was funny though, because it's just, and then I seen like, people are going to hell. That's what I'm saying. I've seen one where like it would be like a random person doing something. Like it's not even to do with Vogue though. Nothing to do with Vogue. And then the person will be walking, slip on ice, and then as soon as it lands, it's a Vogue person landing in the same position.
Yo, what?
I'm like, what is this?
No, Katie, it's priceless.
Yo, what?
What the hell is this?
I gotta see that.
This is how we have a YouTube loophole. I was a YouTube loophole. And I was just like, I remember just sitting there watching endless, like, synchronized real life situations when someone would trip. Like, there's one when a man was on his rollerblades. And he slipped. And one leg, all it needed in the video is one leg going the wrong way, and then it's a Vogue. Boom. And then just bare. I'm seeing, yo, and some of these people have the weird, like, yo, they have, they have the runway, and they're doing their sitting. I seen someone just jump and, like, it looked like it was like
Jeff Hardy jump.
Like a dance clash where someone just busts out in the middle of the circle. He just broke out in the middle of the circle?
Yeah.
this it's a long runway, and people are. One person did a somersault and then just like did a mini bounce. I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, and they had airtime too. Like when they jump, I'm like, what the? And then just spin around and then drop, bust their head back again. I'm like, yo, come on, yo.
What the?
Someone is gonna tear a quadricep.
A quadricep.
That's what I'm saying. How do you not tear it? How do you not tear it? Like,
Because they're flexible. After a while, you like it's like gymnastics. So it's a mixture of gymnastics, b-boying, jazz, and ballet. That's what Vogue is.
I saw one where it's two people, and I swear they were trying to battle who can drop on their back first.
Yeah.
Like one with twirl, drop. Other one, twirl, drop. Somersault, drop.
Somersault,
drop.
Yeah.
Drop.
Yeah.
Stand on the top of their head, drop. Turn around, drop. I'm like, what the hell is this? What the hell is this?
That's a competition. Yeah.
I'm like, it's just like for me when I was watching, I was just very confused. But it was hilarious. Like, it was hilarious to watch. I was like, people are busting their head back.
But it doesn't hurt at all. Like, at all.
You can't tell me that.
For women,
it
gets a little softer. It's not as bad. But like, I'm learning how to get to that extreme level of dropping.
I know, like y'all tearing ligaments every day.
Not at all.
I can't do that stuff. No way. But sorry about that. So we had a whole Vogue moment.
That's funny.
Delpesh, you got anything to promote?
I mean, Del Majuro, aka I Bring the Crowd With Me, aka Captain Corners, hidden everywhere in the vagina, aka KD Craft Dinner, aka what's another good AKA? What is another AKA?
All the corners.
Captain Corners. So not only like the obvious spot, but then I can go like and then do all that. I can hit all the corners. So, but other than this cooking thing right now, I'm interested in getting a tablet, and I think I'm gonna set that tablet up for. I think I'm gonna switch over to like a more work from home environment. So I'm planning to have like a tablet here where I just do my stuff here and then monitor it and everything like that.
Nice.
Besides getting Christmas gifts, make sure everyone gets your Christmas gifts early. You want to cut those lines. You don't want to catch that Amarion. You don't want to catch none of that. So get your Christmas gifts early regarding that. I'm still cooking. The thing with I don't post it that much because like it's like I do the same recipe all the time. Yes. But I discovered I have what they call a wok. So I'm gonna see if I can do some stir fry.
Nice.
I'm gonna post some pictures of that. So
flick of the wrist.
Flick of the wrist, man. I don't know if the electric stove will taste different because you know the difference between fire and electric stove, but
so many. I didn't know there was like 6 of them. 7.
They're like different types of woks, right?
Oh no, stoves.
Oh, stoves in general. Like there's gas, there's the
ceramic,
the electrics,
induction.
Crazy, man.
And you can follow me at J Herndeville. I haven't changed my name yet. Might change in the new year.
The first.
Follow me on Twitch and YouTube. I'm still looking for acting roles, so you know, if you guys looking for something, I'm here. Or even voiceover roles, actually. I wouldn't mind being a little cartoon or a Grand Theft Auto. What else? I feel like my brain's drawing a blank because I'm getting tired. Blizzard Boy, the coldest pod out. Just to let y'all guys know, we might have one more interview for the end of the year. Just be prepared. We're gonna be I don't know how I'm not sure what the schedule will be for the pod. It's vacay and everybody doesn't really listen to pods around that time, but we're gonna go to the drawing board and we're gonna take it to the next level. The pandemic stopped us. It kind of hit us a little bit, but we gonna take it to the next level. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yes.
That's all I'm gonna say. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not, I don't even know if that's how the song went. All I just remember
That's
was
the chanting. That's the commentator going in the back.
I don't know what it was, but whatever it was, that's what I heard. But anyway, if you have any questions or concerns or complaints, send it to askthevent@gmail.com. We are on SoundCloud,
Hey.
Spotify,
Oh,
Stitcher, YouTube,
Andy
Facebook,
Bada.
podcasts. What they all say is shout out to the listeners, yo. I didn't even know we had listeners in like all over the states,
Yeah.
Canada,
I seen Portugal one time. I was like, what are you guys
Portugal,
doing?
Belarus, Mako,
Mexico too.
all these places that are listening to us. Like, thank you guys for listening. I'm surprised. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Be safe out there. Social distance. Do your diligence. Be safe out there. And this is the Vent.